Good afternoon. I'm Marc Scorca, president of Opera America, and I'm honored and proud to be with you to begin the celebration of Opera America's 50th anniversary in 2020. Welcome. Welcome to everyone here in the National Opera Center and to our national audience via live stream as we begin to celebrate our founding in 1970. Now, this isn't a birthday party for Opera America. Over the course of the next year, we're going to be celebrating your achievements. 50 years of opera's remarkable progress in America. It's an astonishing narrative of creativity, determination, and growth. Between 1970 and 2020, opera has moved from being an imported, historic European art form into one that is contemporary, American, and a vibrant cultural expression that resonates with the world we live in. I have a number of exciting announcements about new ways that we'll be supporting your work. But first, a few reminders about how we got to this point. Glenn Ross, the visionary founder of Seattle Opera, persuaded his colleagues to gather in January of 1970 around the world premiere of Carlisle Floyd's Of Mice and Men. There in Seattle, Opera America was established. And out in the lobby during the reception, we have a number of original production photographs and the performance program from that opening performance. Our founders came together for a practical reason. These mid-sized companies had each built and stored sets and costumes. They needed a central agency to catalog these productions so they could buy, rent, exchange, borrow materials from one another. That directory, what Opera America was established to create, is something we still maintain today. Our founding story illustrates one of Opera America's core values. We try to find ways that your work can be strengthened artistically and made more efficient and effective. Then we design programs that respond to these opportunities. This dedication to serving the field motivated the design and construction of this very opera center, and it's behind the announcements we're going to make today. From 20 founding companies in 1970, Opera America's membership now embraces over 400 organizations, including almost every professional opera company in the United States and Canada, universities and conservatories, training programs, competitions, and related businesses that provide essential products and services to the field. The proliferation of companies over the past 50 years parallels the growth of American opera itself. Back in 1970, the premiere of Carlisle Floyd's Of Mice and Men was a rare production of a new work. Today, we struggle to keep track of all the pieces that are being created and produced by companies across the country. They're written by veteran composers and librettists and artists who are new to opera. Opera America has granted over $15 million to companies over the last 30 years in support of new work. With the generosity of the National Endowment for the Arts, the Andrew W. Mellon Foundation, and other important donors, we've changed the course of opera. We now have an American repertoire that has earned the admiration of the international opera community. Just this summer, productions of Blind Injustice, Blue, Fire Shut Up in My Bones, and the Central Park Five demonstrated opera's capacity to tell stories about powerful personal journeys that stir our emotions and drive our determination to create a more just nation. Opera America has helped our members, too, to invest in building the public value of opera outside the walls of the Opera House. Thanks to leadership support from the National Endowment for the Arts and our own Opera Fund endowment, members are building long-term, mutually beneficial relationships with other arts and non-arts organizations to strengthen their communities. Programs like Opera Memphis's 30 Days of Opera, Cincinnati Opera's Opera Goes to Church program, and Opera Omaha's Holland Community Opera Fellows demonstrate opera's connection to the cities and the people they serve. These programs earn the support of funders who don't necessarily love opera, but who love what opera is doing to improve the lives of their fellow citizens. The 50th anniversary is an opportunity to celebrate the past 50 years of achievement, and celebrate we will. But it's also an opportunity to look ahead We'll launch a number of new programs this year and next that demonstrate our commitment to moving opera forward. We're focused above all right now on increasing gender parity and racial and ethnic diversity across the industry. Our effort is guided by our board of directors and by the Women's Opera Network and the Alana Opera Network. This past spring, we launched IDEA Opera Grants, IDEA standing for inclusivity, diversity, equity, and access. The grants are designed to identify and support the work of the most promising composers and librettists of color. We're grateful to Cerise Jacobs for making this possible. The grant panel just met, and the first winners of these IDEA Opera Grants will be announced next week. Where is Cerise? Cerise, thank you so much. The IDEA Opera Grants program has inspired another one that will cultivate new voices in opera. They're IDEA Opera Residencies, supported by the Catherine S. and Axel G. Rosine Fund of the Sherman Foundation. It will welcome aspiring New York-based composers and librettists of color to the art form, with coaching and support services here at the National Opera Center, where they can rehearse, perform, and record their work. This 3-year program will launch in 2020 and provide a pathway for early career artists to create opera for the first time and advance their careers. These 2 new initiatives build on our success with the Opera Grants for Female Composers program, and we have an important milestone to recognize today. In the early years of Opera America's grant making, only 5% of the works that were supported were by women, only 5%. Thanks to the generosity of the Virginia B. Toulmin Foundation, we've broken the $1 million mark. That's $1 million in grants to 45 women to advance their work and to 30 companies in support of their commission of female composers. Today, we're thrilled by the award-winning work of Ellen Reed and Du Yun and many more. In our audience today, we have Kitty Brazelton, Alexa Dexa, Kristen Marting, and Kamala Sankaram. Thanks to increased support from the Toulmin Foundation this year, our grants come along with coaching, so that way women who are new to opera can figure out and learn how to navigate the complexity of producing opera. But we're doing even more to support new work. We're especially pleased to announce the reintroduction of a granting program you've requested more than any other, the Next Stage. These grants provide support for second and subsequent productions of works that have already premiered and are worthy of more performances in new productions. The opportunity to hear new works again is essential to their development and to their progress into the American opera repertoire. We are very grateful to Gene Kaufman and Terry Eder for reviving this important program, which will go live in 2020. Gene and Terry, thank you so much. The identification and encouragement of the next generation of company leaders is another one of our core commitments. Our leadership intensive will continue in 2020 thanks to the renewed generosity of American Express. 10% of our member companies now are led by alumni of our leadership programs, including Austin Opera, Chicago Opera Theater, Kentucky Opera, Long Beach Opera, and Wolf Trap Opera. And all these leaders are women. The selection of the 2020 class will be announced shortly. Our mentorship program for female administrators will continue into its 3rd year to advance the careers of women who are rising in the field. It's supported by our backstage brunch. It makes sure that women are ready to take over top positions when those positions become open. We will announce the next round of protégés and mentors very shortly, but I'm pleased to announce today that our next backstage brunch takes place on January 25th and will be co-chaired by Astrid Baumgartner and Jill Steinberg. Now, one of the founding co-chairs of our backstage brunch is Nancy Barton, and I saw Nancy here, so Nancy, thank you for getting us off to such a good start. Our commitment to working with members to increase civic practice, develop new works, increase gender parity and racial and ethnic diversity, and nurture the next generation of leaders are all made possible through your membership support. With your help, we'll endow these programs in the course of our celebration as part of our 2020 Vision campaign to make sure that we can continue these programs and refine them into the future. Now, beyond the programs I've just described, Opera America invests $1.5 million each year to support bold ideas, new projects, and important research that will improve artistic and administrative practices. These are called innovation grants. And I'm very, very pleased to announce that we have, for the second time, an extension from the Anne and Gordon Getty Foundation, making it possible for us to have another 2-year round of these innovation grants. Although only some of our companies win these grants, we all benefit from the learning that is generated by this extraordinary generosity. So again, many thanks to Anne and Gordon Getty. So how will we celebrate 50 years of opera? My colleague Dan Cooperman, Opera America's Chief Advancement Officer, will tell you. Dan?
Beginning next month, Opera America will hit the road to visit each of our founding companies. We'll be leading public events in each city to localize our national narrative. Each of these companies has played a significant role in moving opera forward, and we want to honor their contributions to the field. We will demonstrate that opera is an art form that thrives in cities of all sizes. We are grateful to Bank of America and to our board member, Rena DeSisto, for supporting this initiative nationwide. Second, we are launching an Opera Hall of Fame. We'll honor the pioneers and leaders in the field who have contributed to our progress today. Building on the NEA Opera Honors, we'll induct 9 living artists, administrators, and advocates who have had lasting impact on the field nationally or locally. Their names will be installed here at the Opera Center in the Cheryl Milnes Honors Gallery and serve to inspire the next generation of artists and leaders in our field. The first round of nominations is now open through January 15th. Please visit operaamerica.org/Hall of Fame to submit your nomination. In addition to recognizing our field's leaders, we'll also learn from their experience. Our oral history project will capture 50 interviews with veterans in the field. Their experience reaches back to the early years of Opera America, and from them, we'll learn more about the environment at the time of our founding and measure our progress from those early days. These oral histories will live on a new Opera America website that will launch in early 2020, as well as at the New York Public Library for the Performing Arts at Lincoln Center. I want to thank the Arthur F. and Alice E. Adams Charitable Foundation for making this possible. And I invite you to capture local stories in your communities that can be linked to our collection of stories from the past and present. This brings me now to one of our most exciting announcements of the day. On January 6th, we are launching a nationally coordinated, locally implemented promotional campaign to shift the public perception of opera. Working with focus groups and cohorts of members, we have developed a social media strategy to inspire curiosity about opera and encourage people to attend and attend more frequently. Please join me now as we meet opera.
Hello, I'm Timothy O'Leary. I'm the board chair of Opera America. Congratulations to Dan and Mark and to everyone at Opera America for the new Meet Opera campaign. I'm also general director of Washington National Opera and therefore an Opera America member. So I'm speaking to you today with that hat on because for years it's been Opera America's members who have clamored for a national campaign to debunk stereotypes about opera and to show it off as the gorgeous, forward-looking, thriving art form that we all love. The Meet Opera campaign is the national campaign that we've been asking for. Meet Opera is about showcasing the breadth of the art form, the diversity of the people who make it and enjoy it, and the many ways it can be experienced. It is a yes and campaign. Opera is grand and intimate. It takes place in historic opera houses and local bars. It is in Italian, French, and German, and in English, Spanish, and Chinese. It offers a special night on the town and a casual evening with friends. Over the next 3 months, 24 opera companies will begin to share the hashtag #MeetOpera content. Like it, comment on it, share it, spread the buzz by purchasing a shirt, a hat, or a water bottle. They are for sale. At meetopera.org and here at the Opera Center. The success of the Meet Opera campaign relies on every one of us. The campaign will take off officially on January 6th, and we need you to join in. Visit meetopera.org to learn more. But if you're inspired to jump in today, go on Instagram, go on Facebook, share the video, and pledge your commitment to help your friends meet opera. By the way, when I said we need everyone involved, I mean everyone. So go and look at what a certain Marc A. Scorca just posted on Instagram, an account I think he opened just for the occasion. Now, I said to you that I was speaking to you today with my Opera America member hat on, and the staff asked me if I'd show you the new hats that have just come in as part of the Meet Opera campaign. So, I happen to have, oh, wait a minute, that's not the right hat. This is the hat, Meet Opera, hashtag Meet Opera, Opera America, go opera. Thank you. Now, please join me in welcoming the Chief Programs Officer of Opera America, Laura Lee Everett.
Thank you, Tim. Go Nats. In addition to all the exciting programs Mark described, and we hope to see you in person over the course of our anniversary year. The first public programs in our founding cities are coming up, and you are welcome to attend them. We will honor the good work of Opera Omaha in November, New Orleans Opera and San Diego Opera in December, and Lyric Opera of Kansas City in January. The full list of these events can be found on our website and will be updated in the Opera Link and Opera America magazine. Our New Works Forum takes place here in New York from January 16th to 19th. It is the largest annual gathering of new work producers and creators in the country and has generated dozens of important new works projects and collaborations. Our National Trustee Forum will meet this year in Washington, D.C., a founding city, from March 18th to the 20th. This program focuses on the importance of good governance and good governance and strong boards to the health of the field. It also gives us a chance to honor the outstanding winners of this year's National Trustee Recognition Awards. While we are in Washington, we'll visit Capitol Hill and the offices of the legislators to advocate for our most important public policies. In May, we return to the city of our first conference, Seattle. Our 50th annual conference will take place from May 13 to 16, 2020, and it will include discussions about pressing industry issues, a variety of performance opportunities, and of course, a 50th anniversary party with dancing. Registration for the conference opens fully on November 1st, but here's a special offer. In honor of our anniversary, the first 50 people who register between today and the end of the month will receive a $50 discount off our advanced pricing. Visit conference.operaamerica.org and use the promo code conference50. Mark?
And that's Celebrate 50, not Conference 50. So that's it's okay. Anyway, so just want to make sure you get that's our way of not giving out the discount, is to give you the wrong code. Over the past 50 years, Opera America has been led by a series of distinguished board chairs. You've met our current leader, Tim O'Leary. Here with us today is our immediate past chair and the current president and CEO of the Metropolitan Opera, Freda Lindemann. We are grateful to her. We are grateful to her and to Charles McKay, the former general director of Opera Theater of St. Louis and the Santa Fe Opera, for serving as co-chairs of our 50th anniversary. In 1970, Opera America was founded to respond to the needs of the field. We fostered the creation of an American opera repertoire, witnessed the establishment of a national infrastructure of companies and training programs. We've encouraged arts education and expanded civic practice and innovation. We've been the model for the development of Opera Europa and Opera Latino America, as well as Opera CA, which in 2020 celebrates its 20th anniversary. The Canadian companies have been part of Opera America since the early years, and they're working closely with us to make sure that this celebration is truly a cross-border event. 50 years later, we're still gaining energy to move opera forward. Now, I'd like everyone who's sitting in the front row to please join me on stage, because let's demonstrate Opera America-style collaboration to cut the ribbon on our 50th anniversary celebration of Opera America. So here we go. Come on up. The opening of the Opera Center.
Oh, God.
Hey, Taz. Good to see you. All right. So this is a slow count. 1, 1.5.
Mark, do you look there?
I'm doing it spiritually. 2. For our 50th anniversary, here we go. 1, 2, 3. Let's cut the ribbon. So to our members and friends here at the National Opera Center and across the country, thank you for joining us as we embark on this momentous occasion. We look forward to hearing from you often. We look forward to seeing you soon. For those who are on the live stream, please have a good weekend. For those who are here in the Opera Center, we have a musical program for you and a little reception. Again, thank you and happy anniversary.